Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another what if video, and in today's what if video we are doing part 3 of what if Amy was the ultimate life form. Now before we go ahead and get into this, make sure you guys go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you thought of the first two parts, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right back into this what if. We open up where we last left off as we see Amy confronting the Biolizard, allowing Sonic and Knuckles to slip by it and head to the Ultra Replica. This way, Knuckles can use the Master Emerald to deactivate the Chaos Emerald's powers. This way, the space colony Ark doesn't collide with Earth. Amy glares at the Biolizard while holding her hammer as the Biolizard roars at her and begins firing attacks as the fight begins, with Amy dodging the Biolizard's attacks and blocking them. Amy begins to fight back against the Biolizard, firing a barrage of Chaos Spheres and Chaos Destructions at it, while also hitting it directly in the face with her hammer. However, much to her shock, it does very little to affect it, as the Biolizard keeps attacking her, firing a barrage of attacks at her, forcing her to continue to dodge and block as she thinks to herself, "There has to be a reason as to why my attacks aren't affecting it, and the only reason I could think of is that there has to be some sort of weak point. The only question is, though, where is that weak point?" Amy continues to dodge and block the Biolizard's attacks, and after a while, she finds the weak point, but can't get to it, and she waits for an opening, and eventually that opening comes, and she attacks the weak point directly with her hammer, causing the Biolizard to scream in pain. However, it continues to fight back against Amy, as Amy keeps dodging and blocking, waiting for the next opening, allowing her to attack the weak point. Meanwhile, as Amy fights the Biolizard, Knuckles and Sonic make their way on the Replica Ultra, and Knuckles prepares to deactivate the Chaos Emeralds using the Master Emerald. However, before he does, he sees Sonic looking at Amy fighting the Biolizard, and he knows what he's about to do as he tells Sonic, "Go help her, I'll be able to handle this." Sonic nods his head and heads back down to help Amy. Amy's then thrown back into a wall from the Biolizard. However, before he can use the follow-up attack, Sonic spin dashes into the Biolizard's weak point, causing him to scream in pain, allowing Sonic to help Amy up as he asks her, "You okay?" Amy smirks and says, "I'm just fine, but I could have handled this all on my own, handsome." Sonic rolls his eyes. However, the two of them dodge an attack from the Biolizard as Sonic prepares a super peel out. However, before Sonic can attack the Biolizard, Amy stops him as she tells him, "Distract him so I can get a hit on the weak point, alright?" Sonic nods his head and begins running around the Biolizard, distracting it, allowing Amy to get in multiple hits on the weak point, causing the Biolizard to scream in pain and throw Amy into a wall. However, Sonic spin dashes into the Biolizard's face and grinds up on it, allowing him to homing attack the weak point, causing the Biolizard to scream in even more pain and throw Sonic back into a wall as well. However, both Sonic and Amy get back up and keep fighting. Sonic and Amy keep fighting the Biolizard. However, the Biolizard then begins to scream and creates pink eggs seemingly out of thin air, as both Sonic and Amy look shocked, as the Biolizard then fires them at the duo. However, they manage to dodge, with Amy using her hammer to block them as Sonic homing attacks them, allowing him to get a hit on the Biolizard's weak point, causing him to scream in even more pain as he then begins creating dark energy balls and fires them at the duo. Sonic and Amy keep fighting the Biolizard, and at this point the Biolizard is beginning to get desperate and his attacks are growing more wild as it then lifts them in the air, catching both Sonic and Amy off guard. However, Sonic then gets an idea and uses a drop dash, allowing himself to get back to the ground and to launch himself back into the air and to homing attack the Biolizard's weak point, causing him to scream in pain as Amy also uses a Chaos Destruction at the same time, adding more pain to the Biolizard as it's almost defeated. However, as both Sonic and Amy keep fighting the Biolizard, Knuckles manages to deactivate the Chaos Emerald's powers using the Master Emerald. However, the Biolizard has noticed, and as both Sonic and Amy charge in for the final attack, the Biolizard then lifts them back up into the air and then throws them down to the ground. And as they're getting up, the Biolizard then uses Chaos Control to teleport away and defuse with the Ark. This way it can still hit Earth. Sonic and Amy get back up and look around, confused, wondering where the Biolizard is as they realize it's gone, and they both run up to where Knuckles is, with Sonic asking, "Did you do it?" "Yeah, I did. I managed to deactivate the Chaos Emerald's power. However, the Ark's still heading to Earth. I think I know why. It used Chaos Control, and it fused with the Ark. The Ark's still heading down to Earth." "Well, what can we do to stop it?" Sonic then smirks and gestures at the Chaos Emeralds as they begin to surround them. Knuckles quickly realizes what Sonic's plan is and nods as he says, "Good luck, you two." The Chaos Emeralds then fully surround both Sonic and Amy, and they both close their eyes as a blinded light surrounds them, and they re-emerge as Super Sonic and Super Amy. Super Sonic and Super Amy then teleport in front of the Biolizard, which is now the final hazard, as it roars at them as the space colony Ark continues to head to Earth. Amy and Sonic turn to each other, with Amy smirking, saying, "Ready, handsome?" Sonic smirks back with him saying, "You bet!" And Amy pulls out her hammer, and the final battle begins. Super Sonic and Super Amy charge at the final hazard. However, the final hazard begins shooting lasers at them and pink eggs. However, the duo manage to evade them, and Super Amy quickly points out what the weak point is, its pink swelling areas. Thus, the duo charge towards them, with Super Sonic managing to land a spin dash on one of them, causing the final hazard to scream in pain. Amy then charges towards the final hazard's pink swelling points, with her managing to dodge all of its attacks, and once getting there, she uses a powerful Chaos Destruction, causing the final hazard to scream in pain. Amy then uses Chaos Control to slow down time, allowing her to use a Chaos Blast on the Biolizard's pink swelling points, causing it to get even more damaged. However, the Biolizard uses its lasers to throw Amy flying back. However, she gets back up, as both her and Super Sonic continue to fight the final hazard. Sonic and Amy begin to land more and more attacks on the final hazard's pink swelling points, causing it to get even more desperate, and its attacks to grow even more wild. And after a while, as the two of them go in for the final blow, the final hazard then uses Chaos Control to slow down time, and fires more lasers and pink eggs at them, nearly knocking them out of their super forms. However, they manage to regain their composure and continue to fight the final hazard. All the while, the space colony Ark gets ever closer to Earth. Super Sonic and Super Amy continue to dodge the final hazard's attacks as they grow more wild and more desperate. And after a while, the duo manage to find an opening, and they both charge towards the Biolizard's pink swelling points, with Super Sonic charging up a powerful spin dash, and Super Amy charging up a powerful Chaos Blast, and they both fire the attacks, causing the final hazard to scream in pain as it's defeated. However, much to the duo's horror, the Ark's still heading towards Earth due to it being in its atmosphere. However, Amy gets an idea as she tells Sonic, "If we can use Chaos Control, we can teleport it back to its orbit." Sonic nods his head, agreeing, and they both charge towards the Ark. And once near it, they both scream, "Chaos Control!" The space colony Ark is then teleported back to its orbit as the people of Earth, alongside Sonic's friends and Eggman, are saved. However, although Sonic's fine, Amy begins to fall down to Earth as she says, "This is what you wanted, right, Maria? For me to help the people of this planet? I did. I fulfilled your wish, Maria." And Amy falls down to Earth, her super form beginning to end. Sonic then heads back to the space colony Ark, alone, as he tells the group what happened, how Amy sacrificed herself to protect the planet. The heroes mourn. However, as they mourn, Eggman uses this opportunity to slip away, as he heads to his base nearby Station Square, and once there, he begins to plan his next move, as he says to himself, "Great, my grandfather's greatest creation couldn't take down Sonic, and she's dead, and to top this off, my grandfather tried to kill me. Whatever, I need to begin planning my next move against the rodent and his friends." However, as Eggman begins to plan his next move, Metal Sonic alongside a group of badniks come in holding something. Eggman, confused, ends up asking, "What is it, Metal?" Metal Sonic and the group of badniks show Eggman what they found, and to his shock, it's the badly damaged body of Amy Rose. Eggman looks over her and quickly realizes she's alive though heavily injured, as he quickly realizes her super form must have been the reason why she survived. However, it must have deactivated shortly after she landed on the planet, meaning she's still heavily injured. However, as Eggman continues looking over Amy, he gets an idea, and a grin appears across his face as he says to himself, "Wait a minute, with her knocked out, this might be the perfect time to do some research. After all, if I can make duplicates based off her, I can easily mass produce them and have a whole army I can use against Sonic. This is perfect." Eggman then brings Amy inside the base and puts her in a capsule. This way he can begin working on the Amy androids. And as Eggman begins to create and mass produce the Amy androids, he also begins working on the Egg Fleet and upgrading Metal Sonic into Neo Metal Sonic. Alongside this as well, he decides to move Amy to a different base and creates a new E-series to guard her, E123 Omega. And once he's finished building Omega and moving Amy to the new base, he tells Omega to guard Amy, and if she tries to escape or if anyone tries to break her out, to kill them on sight. And once he's done telling Omega this, he then leaves and continues working on his plans. We then cut to a few months later as we see Rouge the Bat sneaking into Eggman's base and types in a code, easily breaking into the base as she says to herself, "I did it. I successfully found Eggman's secret treasure. Now let's see what the doctor has been hiding." Rouge notices the capsule and begins trying to get into it, and she does manage to get into it. However, as the capsule opens up, much to her shock, she sees Amy Rose, alive and well as Amy opens her eyes and looks at Rouge. However, before the two of them could say a thing, bullets are fired at them, and Amy moves Rouge out of the way as E123 Omega is awoken. "Stay here! Wait, Amy!" However, before Rouge can stop Amy, Amy goes back to fighting Omega and continues to dodge his attacks. However, Rouge notices something. She notices that Omega isn't aiming for Amy, he's aiming for all the Eggman tech, and thus Rouge stops the fight, as Omega and Amy explain why they're here. Omega explains how he was left here by the doctor a few months ago, and how he feels like this was a waste of his power and potential. Thus he wants revenge on both Eggman and the Eggman Empire. Meanwhile, Amy has lost her memory and can't remember a thing. Rouge quickly realizes that if they team up, they can all get what they want. Thus, Team Dark is born, and they head out to go find Eggman, to get answers from Amy, to get Rouge's treasure, and to get revenge for Omega. And that's where we're going to end this what if, for right now. So what did you guys think? Did you expect Sonic to help Amy fight against the Biolizard? Did you expect Amy to lose her memory like Shadow did? Or did you expect Team Dark to still be formed? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and make sure you guys go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.